3 bodies moved over. Deep Vice Wall used by Eternal Fire and Sands, just checking for that re-clear, but it never comes. Vitality are here, but Eternal Fire on site first.
Yeah, they are. Spike plant not being attempted, and Vitality pretty much respecting this, apart from Jamppi, who was left alone in lamps, and this is an absolute rout in the pistol round. Just PROFEK to come back in.
1 versus 5, and the first shot is clean, but he has so much work.
Going forward.
Yeah, Jamppi just playing right up in the face of this smoke. 3 players behind, ready to pop out, and Izzy draws first blood, leaving only PROFEK behind. Derke trying to swoop in and support. Eternal Fire just call it in for a second.
There's still a double stack of players here. It's Derke and PROFEK.
Just waiting for Favian to arrive so they can get that flash in, tee up the play, and Eternal Fire running rampant. And you can start cycling that. It becomes so oppressive to try and retake. So Vitality have to be playing for these floods, especially on that side of the map. And with audaz bringing Chronicle out of play. There's a slow re-clear arriving through the market on the attacker's side. Is it going to arrive in time? Jamppi's bought a little bit with the C's, but not enough.
Yeah, just a classic here as well. But that classic is able to at least get one. So that rifle, the stinger, the shotgun, maybe up close and personal on the B side will get something done.
Retake flipped on its head. Vice Wall does get triggered. How many players do Eternal Fire anticipate here, though?
Yeah, but what's the response after the wall being triggered? Do they take more space? The answer, no. Happy with what they've got. So they look to bolster down on the site and wait for Vitality to come to them. Remember, 1 rifle saved from the last day will know about that. And as soon as the players come into the crosshairs, audaz completely finds them all. A 2 versus 1 now for Derke.
Player. The most consistent from kickoff, carrying it on here.
Enemy remaining.
Eternal Fire positioning themselves well in the post with their full lineup. When does it happen?
That is the question. A team that has suffered from the EMEA kickoff curse that we spoke about yesterday. But as for now, Vitality have a full buy. There's ultimates being sent in. Derke got 1, but very quickly it's changed into an Eternal Fire narrative. Sayo able to get 1, and that spike goes down into post.
Yeah, a bit of a weird one here. Vitality retaking 3 on 3, but every player completely split up. 2 layers to this back line. Jamppi working his way up to A short, and Sayonara still holding on to showers. Precious real estate.
You look towards the utility left on the attack. There's not a whole bunch of it, so it's up to the defensive utility. Sayonara aware of the flank, but not aware of the second. So a 2v2 now, favouring Eternal Fire, and with just PROFEK now to clutch up. Time low, his chances even lower, and he's thrown in the white towel, giving Eternal Fire their
the operator out. Chance for them to find their feet. PROFEK with another opening kill. Derke also limit testing outside of A in showers. These early numbers are exactly what Vitality need, but they can't double up.
Same time
to take this 1v1 in Hookah, a big fight which PROFEK has to win.
This is a big 1 versus 1. He's taking the head clean off, but there's still ultimates in play for Eternal Fire.
Still pressure from Long as well. Chronicle will be able to cycle that Viper wall and keep them oppressed in this position, but PROFEK duly noted. No second layer to dig him out. And in the retake, there are ults here now for Vitality to use.
Yeah, PROFEK now starting to move elsewhere while Vitality get ready to bust out of CT, try and grab the attention of the main players. Oh my god!
Fantastic flicks from Favian here.
Oh my god.
To find PROFEK.
Right. Vitality once again trying to play on the front foot on this defense, and that's the first time that an engagement has really gone their way, with Derke and Sayonara being
to
the
receive. Sayonara with his own ult, and of course, got to be thinking about that Viper molly.
Cron taking contact. There is massive pressure on his shoulders, but unfortunately, the barrel being seen and able to get 2. I want to hit.
Vitality have been playing a 3-2 towards this side of the map most of the time. There's not a single controller here, though. It's just Chronicle's wall in proxy that's got to help protect the site. Sayonara's going up in smoke, drops back into a different molly from his own Phoenix ult. But the B site is in safe hands for now. It's this transition to A, which is problematic. Nekky finding one in Hookah while that's all happening, and Eternal Fire actually just call it quits.
Yeah, Cron's going forward though, looking to hunt for another player. Triggers the wall, but there's nothing to find.
And he's not going to be able to bypass it here either, so as the round starts to intensify a little bit, a moment of respite for both sides. Echo still left behind in showers, and with this long control for Eternal Fire, a possibility for them to pivot back.
Post-plant would be a real issue for Vitality to try and dismantle should Eternal Fire get there because of the ultimates.
And with the A site looking weaker at the second, what is the commitment here from Eternal Fire? It's along they go, and audaz so lucky to make it through that TP. The round may just live and die on it. Izzy looking to escape and able to do so in the time being. audaz committing a plant to the triple box, and actually PROFEK guesses wrong with his own orbital strike.
But at least he has advantage in numbers in terms of teammates.
But are they expecting Echo? No, they aren't! Up close in spawn, he'll take two and bring it down to a 2-on-2. Wrapping around back in short. Izzy still alive here, and Sayonara diligent enough to clear close, but now that plant becomes a problem. Is he just waiting in the corner in the wall, trying to buy a distraction, a deflection of where Sayonara wants to go? Yet to make the first move, but when the tap comes in, there's a flash.
This one, the fact that you saw that there was still a brim ulti.
Vitality you expect to be able to punish in these chaotic situations, and well, immediately Eternal Fire just dives straight into the pit. Full disrespect here shown by Izzy as they've taken complete control of front site A.
Yeah, and it's a judge as well. Good horn, but not one that anybody can get a kill off the back of. The pit drops. Cron holding on to lamps, and this is the perfect gun for the job. Good flash! And the judge doesn't get any kills off the back of it. It's a disaster.
Yeah, Derke a little timid to try and follow this up. Still backside for Vitality. That's the foundation.
Oh, and Jamppi just caught off guard by Bench. Now you can see Eternal Fire really starting to make it work. Derke does have his ultimate, and with no bullets left, you think that would be a good option here. But again, Vitality completely disconnected. audaz stuck between two players, and he's able to fight his way out of that. Just Sayonara now, and he's thrown about. Flashes can easily try and dismantle this, but does he even want to try and get out here? Or maybe he's just going to fight himself.
He's just extensively, and well, in terms of the A hit, they have the numbers here. It's the strong side. Sayonara's committing an ultimate to try and fend off those players. Can only stall it for so long. As the spike has been felled, Chronicle onto that next duel, wins it against audaz, and still Vitality bunkered up in backside. Eternal Fire with ambitions to fight it. The flames then fanned by PROFEK finding this one.
Yeah, but the spike is down on the ground.
Stuck in the corner, Favian again! He just seems to know where every damn Vitality player is. Izzy has a good idea, a picture now painted of both. Flooding back.
Slightly.
Super aggro play down the length of shore. No scope from Izzy. Does it get better? Seems to be the case for Eternal Fire. Sayonara really running the length of spawn side here to take out Echo. He's popped a pit like an octopus in an ink cloud, looking for any route to escape. And audaz hunts him down.
Yeah, there's a lot of damage done off the back of that. Favian not able to heal himself, but at least Echo's back to 100 HP.
Eternal Fire, 4 members strong now, scaling towards the A site, and it feels like if they're brawling in numbers, everything they touch will turn to gold. Chronicle needs something huge from this flank.
This post plant is all in showers though.
And when you look at it, audaz has the molly and his ult, so the Brimstone with all of the tools to take this down to the wire, and Echo doesn't want to wait. That 9-3 half calling their name. Eternal Fire showing so much dominance.
It's on long here, but it is a trap. You've got to be looking towards Favian in the corner. Not yet known about as the players of Vitality trying to escape. It's Izzy's double that really upsets this round. As Favian gets one of his own. I think this is over before it's even started at this point in time. Double digits for Eternal Fire.
That's it. You can put it to the back of your head and start thinking about Lotus.
I mean, it has to be said, Eternal Fire don't have the best of records on Lotus, but a nice start here. One to consider perhaps Vitality to come back into at least this round.
Jamppi finds a kill beyond the smoke, and Favian trying to reinforce that will pay the cost of his own life. If Chronicle was able to win that duel, it would have been wraps, but Izzy's just keeping them in there by a thread. 2 anchors on this side of the map, and they're charging down the judge! 2 from Echo, and a wall left behind for nekky to play off. Headshot on the first, can't follow up the second. Still winnable here though, and PROFEK forced to clutch.
Yeah, decides to go elsewhere towards the A side, but Izzy is close by, still has the relay bolt, still has the slide.
PROFEK building the bridge across to this triple box. The stun should land at his feet, but he sidesteps into the cross. Sayonara with the run it back, though, is one of them. He is not first involved. The progress of Vitality as Sayonara is walking up, supported by PROFEK. Chronicle wins his fight, and that alleviates a lot of the issues that they would have had on Shower's side of the site. Nekky right through the middle, though. Timing was good as the flash was drawn from Sayonara, but he stays alive for now.
Spike planted.
Retake with the Outlaw, no easier by those missed shots from Izzy.
Yeah, but he does have his ultimate if he wants to go and retake. Health not entirely terrible, and that's where we're just going to see a quick top up and ready to go. No flashes though on Favian.
Money looking bad on both sides, so this round counts for a lot, and Eternal Fire want all into it. Sayonara, in fact, popping the ult to try and cause a threat here as the spike diffuser simply tapped. It brings a couple players out of position. Defuse still happening. Audaz in the meantime. Hands are busy. No one stops. Judge. Couple rifles. Bulldog in there for Vitality. One more swing at this into a deeply guarded B site.
Face your fear!
Ultimate pop straight away on the execute. Derke struggling to get to back sight, but it's PROFEK instead who gets the kill. Eternal Fire still here, but not long for this world. That spike can go down and rotate's coming in.
Yeah, not too much from the double long hold. Echo to interrupt.
Oh, he's gone a little bit cheeky though and punished for it. So the rifles that initially came in have managed to get the value.
Hey, that's the judge.
Yeah, trying to find a Vandal, something in which to work. A 1 versus 3. Does Vitality give him the fight through the motions, right? Izzy though, ready with his operator, misses his shot, not like him, and Derke getting the better of his opposite number. Still Vitality ready to execute in, and audaz gets a kill indirectly through his molly.
Favian still here early though, spotted in lamps.
That he is, and needs to retreat while the rest of the team come through to support Vitality. They create a line, a defensive one, or even one on attack. So it's just a judge. And you don't favour Echo here. I mean, crazier things have happened. Vitality, they drop all the way back and play from short.
Echo fancies his chances here, though. He'll give this one a go. It is going to be a B hit.
Yeah, and also, we're starting to see Eternal Fire move bodies towards B through the sky of Favian. It's a good ultimate from Hooker, but it doesn't get anything. It doesn't get a kill, but finally it does with Echo and audaz coming through. Big ultimate value. So the players go for a TP. You can see Izzy is waiting, but Derke at the back of sight has bought space.
And audaz has to buy time. He's the only player here in elbow for now.
Yeah, but Izzy has to retake with an operator and retake with one less body compared to Vitality. That's the important part. Derke holding on, and Izzy now all alone with a big investment. Decides not to save it. He's taking a step forward, wants to be the hero against Vitality's super team. Try and stop them from getting a chance. One away from the ulti, but I imagine he doesn't want to take that. He wants to fight, goes for it.
This is only the first map in the series so far. Group up in short, Echo strikes first. Problems on the horizon, but Sayonara able to react. That's one back for Vitality. But they're just committing to this fully through the orb. Echo still for another, and Sayonara trades it again.
Yeah, but look at this. All alone is Favian. He needs support through his teammates.
Trying to back up, Molly at his feet. Favian takes on board a bit of damage, but not enough to fully stop him in his tracks. Playing outside the edge of the pit, Sayonara! That's a dangerous fight to take, but risks that he's willing to make in this situation. Yet another Phoenix ult. Played onto the field, bit of a timing from Favian here. He has managed to just get inside the pit, and with Izzy denying the ultimate, Favian's right under their nose. Kron still keeping this one up for the time being, but Eternal Fire in this 2-on-2 with some real potential here if it's not for Sayonara and the rest already in Garden. Jamppi applying even further on A, but he's there for the duel, and the judge has found two. Could it really end in this kind of a fashion? The pit popped, and Vitality down to their second option. The backup plan. It's all falling apart as they flood out of showers. Favian there to guard it. So many great moments this
question we have on the back of our minds. Eternal Fire didn't have the best showing last time. They won't start good either after a quick entry from Chronicle.
Chronicle on this Killjoy is not something that we've seen too many times, but I feel like sometimes you get his best game on Sentinel. Coming into the team to play that role rather than a flex is a big statement in itself, of course. Biggest transfer of the off-season, and as you can see with the opening kill here, they start to scale towards the C site. Audaz at the back getting caught, as is nekky. Vitality trampling them here as they're on the high road to the pistol.
Yeah, that killer instinct not as dominant here from Eternal Fire. As already Vitality have 5 alive and have responded well. Probably gutted to have been knocked out from that first map, right? The way that it ended, getting caught out by a judge.
So saying, right, sort of a sign of the times perhaps, but things starting to look on the up for Vitality here. Echo walking away with
some Vitality heading his way.
Oh, he's actually just going to try and entertain that early duel. Derke makes him pay maximum price. C-site fully taken and Eternal Fire forced into a retake.
Yeah, Eternal Fire are going to have to take a minute here because there's so many players having to get into position for the retake here. Although that spam from audaz brings things all even now.
Yeah, spam towards default. It does manage to take down Derke, but he doesn't exactly hold a key piece in this post plant. You're looking at Jamppi's ult, the Nightfall, ready to cut across Waterfall. Gonna connect onto a couple of players, and PROFEK already finding one of them on the flood back through. Favian falls, as will Izzy. One by one they drop, and now it's only nekky left. Despite the shots he hit in the previous, this one feels a little out the realms of possibility. Does find his
pressure. Yeah, playstyle Chronicle will be well aware of, and PROFEK just waits
to the C execution. Derke's already been good for these entries.
He has, but he's running into a paranoia face first, and Eternal Fire for the most part have stopped the execute. Good job, but the problem is that Vitality are heading elsewhere. They're onto the B side through Sayonara. Cron at the back of him, though, gets that trade. Advantage still in Vitality's favour, and now the spike is here. Echo trying to use the Viper's Pit, but it's not going to work out as Vitality embedded within it. And PROFEK's just waiting to get his opposite number, but it doesn't go his way. It's a disaster. audaz on 1 point of health, trying to save the operator, but Vitality have already done the business. If they can get rid of this op, it's massive damage to the economy.
audaz only has 1 HP to try and live it out, and that will have been relayed back to the rest of Vitality. Derke is already here, shot through the wall.
Right. Both ops in the same lane. Already a player saw. Sayonara low. He's still wanting to fight here. Not long for this world, but still looking for another brawl. The confidence there, and still gets a pick. How has that happened?
Izzy really wanted a second player to be able to peek with him there. Felt like it was a bait and switch, but no follow-up from Vitality. It's just a lurk, and they've taken complete control through the middle of the map now.
Echo wants to stand toe-to-toe with his opponents, all on site alone, but it is realistically only going to be Jamppi here. Derke maybe going a step too far and finds one of those other operators that was lying in wait. That's a nightfall to come through here to try and hide the fact that the door was broken. And a lot of ultimates being thrown in here from the remaining 3 of Eternal Fire.
Yeah, Vitality really split up in this post plant. Also, Sayonara low.
Yeah, it's Chrono from heaven, and he's only able to get 1. That spike is halved, and that's what they're going to try and use to bait out a pick. How is that? Nobody from Vitality peaked! It's a disaster! Eternal Fire ready to fight A, but it's only Sayo once again, and he can't make the outlaw work. So the rest of Vitality look elsewhere. In a smoke is Echo with his judge, but it is only going to be 1. And maybe the floodgates open from now.
Oh, look at this rotation though. Izzy is there first.
Yeah, he is there first, but is he going to give himself away? That's the real question as he sits at the back of sight. Derke's ultimate use, but he's completely gone. No value, and that's what Vitality need. They need value, and it comes through Jamppi and Chronicle.
Big kills. Time for a lockdown here. Chron going to waste it instantly.
Oh, but that spike on the ground, and while it might buy Jamppi space, does not buy him support. So with 30 seconds remaining, needs to get the spike down and fight too. In terms of utility, he's the one at the advantage in terms of information. That Prowler immediately used, so he should know it's from CT. An idea, a jump up, can't hit the shots. That narrative switching with a couple round wins. Vitality now here in C-Mound, and PROFEK holding, leading the line. Vitality straight in. Does the spike head towards C? It seems as if single defensive round. That might be because of the fact they didn't get many opportunities to defend. But you understand the idea. And Favian thinking about it, deciding against it, Vitality in post. And you've got Izzy now coming from main, does get to save all the way in spawn. Derke hasn't decided.
Yeah, it's Favian with the rifle here, but he's so far back on C that it's not really actionable off of these two players. Already Izzy dropped, and audaz does walk away with one. Chronicle not committing to the clear either, just backtracking, could get caught.
Yeah, no rifle in hand for him as he tries to back away. So Eternal Fire now starting to find themselves in a decent enough spot at 3-3 in the player count.
30 seconds left.
With numbers towards the A site and this toxic screen yet to go up, Eternal Fire really in with a shout here now. Nekky only on a classic though, his pistols have been good, we need more.
Yeah, we do. We need loads here from Nekky.
Doesn't get cleared.
The PROFEK doesn't clear him. It's a massive point here. A swing out. The coaches of Vitality and we're straight back in here. But Derke, great entry through tree. In towards the A side do go Vitality, a switch up of pace and ready to go. But remember his echo once again on the A side. Able to do it last time, but not here, not now. Showstopper in, set up by the Paranoia, still gets a kill, Favian. So a 2-on-2 is where we settle. Where's Chron away to?
Just walking through on the flank right now. He's the backstab which Jamppi has to buy time for.
Yeah, he needs to run away, get out of dodge, because Izzy is on the hunt and found it. But Chron nice and slow and wait.
Gotta clear this smoke.
They try to, and this time audaz isn't able to get a kill with a shotgun. Is he trying to respect the utility? It's not found. Going for the peek, and does at least catch PROFEK. Yeah, one smoke only in, there's not a whole bunch, and now there's bodies here.
Chronicle gonna use the ultimate at the very least. Does Izzy want to fight in front of this? He does! How does he find both? 4v2 now. And it doesn't look like there'll be a single detainee on the Eternal Fire side.
You say that, I think Echo's been detained within his pit, and that's what Derke's hunting for. But if he does hunt, there's plenty of more Eternal Fire bodies to try and protect him.
And of course, the gun comes back up at the pivotal moment. A crucial turn of the corner as Derke is gonna get out with his life. But three more players trying to follow this up, and as he'll hightail out of there, look who's waiting. Nekky and Lobby, this is the spike, dropped to the ground as Vitality have had their first half hopes buried here by Eternal Fire. Their playoff hopes, the attack scaling quickly towards the A site.
Izzy trying to find anything from this, but Vitality happy to give it up, right? Waiting to play as a 5-on-5 retake.
Eternal Fire pushing up towards the spawn side here as well. Not a single player in tree. The only residual is Nekky from main.
That's going to be a massive component to this round. Should that Viper's wall drop at any moment in time, players managing to escape in towards heaven. That was Izzy, and there's Nekky now from main, like we spoke about. But Vitality have a couple back in the conversation, and still the advantage sits with the attack. Sayonara, Derke completely disconnected from one another.
Considering the options of the B play, but with the Nightfall in, that's the first sign of full commitment. Vitality have to set up for the retake, but that's not before Chronicle's able to find Izzy. A big kill right now.
It's massive. And let's hear how Vitality take on this retake.
Close right and watch me, bro. Default, close right and default. One is 10, one is side.
Okay, paranoia side and go out.
On the box, go. Bro. Careful, 10s. 10s.
One is forward.
Vitality are some of the best that we have had, but this is some of the best that we have been yet to see as Eternal Fire. Stage 1, the second stage of the year. That's when we got the full 5. That's when we got what we were promised. And they've lived up to every expectation that we had set of them. Sure, they've lost Echo here, but look at this. Able to fight straight back in. Stuck between a rock and a hard place is Derke. Sayonara keeping the pulse alive for Vitality, but Nekky and Izzy have that A site to themselves. Izzy even taking a step forward.
I mean, Izzy's taken many steps. He's already in spawn. Full A site at their disposal. Chronicle has to pull off the 1 versus 2. Now, he's been good at clutches in the past, but we need to see it in these key moments. The weight of expectation in the world on his shoulders. Can he pull it off?
That's the question. Is he low? A body shot would be all it's needed. As Kron does get control of that spike, but Izzy's already wrapping round behind. Dropped down for the retake. Now it seems as if this is going to be straightforward as it comes. Audaz on site. Kron knows about that. He's trying to get away. That lockdown's not even going to be a factor in this round. It's pots and pans for the next one if Vitality cannot win, and it looks like that could be the case. Showstopper in, there goes Sayonara, there perhaps goes Vitality's chances of winning this one. As the players of Eternal Fire manage to escape the onslaught of Utility. 5-on-3, Vitality need to fight back, but they cannot find a chance, cannot
Your
find...
footing in this game. Seasight has been a prominent problem, but PROFEK brings a judge to alter that equation.
And already...
just full cleared through the smoke.
Yeah, it's tough, the spam not finding him. Right, he's found him straight away. It's now Eternal Fire look elsewhere. They've created a little bit pocket of pressure that Chronicle is the one set to deal with.
Honestly, Eternal Fire are feeling untouchable at this point. Jamppi can call the best round that he possibly likes. Lucky not to get caught there. If there's not a stack of players here on A or B, I think it's B, you've got to be worried.
Yeah, the split coming through. Sayonara in the pit, but he has no way to stay alive. No support either. Eternal Fire want to finish it here and now on map 2. There's no map 3 in this one. Chronicle, a 1 versus 4. Lockdown being sent in, and he's given this a good go. Second player to head his way. Can't connect the shots. It's just a clutch on the cards. There's a rifle at his feet, but decides he wants to stick it with the Bulldog. Both players set.